we had Peter Forsberg on the show yesterday, and I've interviewed him a couple of times, but never one-on-one, always in scrums.
Well, it wasn't easy to get the Colorado guys?
Yeah, good point. They were well protected.
Yes.
He was an absolute joy to talk to. He was fun.
Is he still managing the team in Sweden or being involved? Like he
It was a Modo, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
It was a whole different guy now. He's retired. I had him once, the same thing. I couldn't believe it. I said, why was this guy not on more often? He should have his own show.
He was giving Doug shots left, right, and center.
That's worth the price of admission right there.
That's how we ended it.
What a trade, though, eh? We think of Forsberg and Lindros, both turned out to be superstar players. And one's going into the Hall, the other should be going into the Hall.
Mm-hmm. It would have been great if they went in together, wouldn't it?
Oh, fabulous.
You know, you talk about, do guys lobby to get in as a writer, a broadcaster, a builder, or player? Do you think Eric cares? I get the feeling like he will go in the Hall.
I think so.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, I think he should, but I don't think he's a guy that lobbies. You know what I mean? Like it's
not at all.
It's kind of ridiculous he's not in all honesty. But I think he's another guy like Forsberg that actually his personality's really evolved and softened and broadened when it's over. Because these guys, I mean, him in particular, God, he was the face of the league and everything, and Flyers.
He's a dominant player, MVP, took his team to the final. They didn't win, but that happens. And did he have the longevity? No, but there's other players that have gotten into the Hall of Fame that didn't have the years, but he was the best player for many of the years that he played.
He was always a guy that, on the subject of being guarded, was so tough to get through that wall when you interviewed him.
Yeah,
but once you got to know him, if you got into that circle at all, he was a totally different guy. Like it was almost hard to recognize the difference between Eric the player and Eric the dude.
Well, and when you're in it, like him, or anyone playing in there's a siege mentality. Mm-hmm. There just is. It's us against the world, and those types of things, and the other part now, when you get out, you get perspective, and you get all those when you're retired. Like he's a guy. I certainly wasn't in his inner circle or anywhere close, but I've done some events with him since. And I'm like, it's very genuine. Like a lot of people are kind of cynical because they remember those days, but he's very charitable, very involved, very, very personable.
No, absolutely. And I mean, the circumstances of him coming into the league were very different than most players for a lot of different reasons. But to your point, yeah, I mean, he's a tremendous guy when you get to know him. And I was involved with an event a week ago with Eric for Easter Seals. We raised over $200,000 in a charity hockey tournament. So he's been very generous with his time.
And he got married in Montreal. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, they talk about he was never anti-Quebec. He was anti-Marcel Aubut as far as going to that organization. So, that perception was there. And actually his wedding about a year ago or 2 years ago, and there's a picture of him with a Montreal Canadian jersey on. I guess the father-in-law or someone got him to do it as kind of a ruse, whatever, and he went along with it.